Then you said it is mandatory to have directional bias to establish credit spread. If it is that, what about monthly deep in the money option buying? What is pros and cons? Why would you do that? Is buying deep in the money options basically you want to uh, mimic a linear trade, right? So if let's say you don't have enough money to get into a futures contract, but you don't want that time value problem to affect you too severely, and you also want a very high delta so that it follows the market as best as it can. That is a scenario where you would go and buy deep in the money options. But I don't like that, because then there is absolutely no benefit to buying options. All right. uh, Again, you need to understand like how delta works. Okay, let's say bank nifty is trading around 44,300, right? So now let's say you buy 43,800, 500 point in the money put, and maybe the delta is 0.75 or zero point 0.8, something like that. At the money delta is 0.5. Okay, so immediately whatever is the premium here. So 44,300 call is trading around 88 rupees, and 43,800 call is trading around 531. So you have 88 rupees here, 531 here. All right. Now definitely the time value is just 31 rupees here, and here it is completely 88. What is the delta? 0.5. This is 0.75. Okay. Now if you buy say one lot, so this is somewhere around 8,000 rupees you will require. Okay, if I'm not wrong, one lot, 15 lot, and here it will be 1,500. All right. So now how much capital are you deploying? 8,000, and your delta is let's say 0.75. So if the market moves, let's say 200 points from here, so you stand to make 0.75 of that. Make sense? Into 15. So 75% of this is 150 into 15, and that will give you 2250 as your profit. All right. But now if you look at this, if it moves 200 points, okay, this will move 100 points. Make sense? Am I correct? Yes. uh, and then this 88 will be 198. Make sense? So you'll be making 100 points profit. Now if you have two options, you are still spending 3,000. Make sense? So here you are spending 8,000, here you are spending 3,000. So now if you have two options, that is 30 into 100, and you are going to make 3,000 rupees. So immediately you have beat this. Make sense? So, and let's say it falls 200 points, so 100 points you are again losing. So you are losing 300 points here. 150 into you are losing 2250. Okay, something similar. So short term, I would prefer buying more lots of at the money option rather than buying some lots of in the money option. Because at the end of the day, let's say you are risking 750 more here. Okay, in this particular scenario, but also you are going to make more money. Make sense? So the difference is much less. It's just not too much. So if you are able to get on to at the money options, uh, more number of lots, it's always better than out of the money option lesser number of lots, if you believe that your trade is going to work out in a short period of time. All right. But again, like say this series, it is 531 43,800 call. So if I go to let's say monthly expiry, then 43,800 call is trading at 1132. 1132. That is how 500 plus rupees of time value involved there. So it does not work out. It does not work out. So what I believe is that option buying, there is no simple way out of this problem. All right. Now there is no free lunch. Usually what happens, when you are new to the markets or you're learning things and you're taking too much in, and you are not able to differentiate between valid information sources and invalid and stupid information sources, usually you will find uh, bits and pieces of information here and there. Okay, so in one video you see, and someone gives you a good strategy for buying in the money options. On other video you will find an out of the money option strategy, and then there is a short saddle, long saddle, and there are hundred, thousands, millions of strategies on the web, especially on YouTube. And if you're not able to differentiate between what is curve fitting and what is logically consistent, you will end up falling for all these things. So always see, first thing, whenever you want to ask me a question, as I'm not discouraging you from asking questions, you can ask as many questions as you want, but let us try this. Okay, whenever you want to ask me a question, first remember this, that whatever you are thinking, okay, whatever you have come across, I have done that. All right, just make this small assumption. Okay, and still I'm not saying that okay, just assume that and don't ask me questions. No, then ask yourself a question, like, if this guy has done that, why is he not doing it right now? Why has he not come out and told me about an in the money option buying strategy? Right, why has he not done that? Now if you ask this question to yourself, spend some time on it, like spend an hour, 2 hour on it. And it's not like you ask yourself question and sit for 2 hours. No, have that in mind and go about your business. Your mind will keep working in the back end. Mind is excellent that way. It is unlimited core thread processor. So like, you just put a question in your mind, that's all you have to do. Your mind will keep working on it. So after 2 hours, 3 hours, you come back, after finishing something, and you try to find an answer, your mind would have come up with something. So do this exercise, and that will help you, develop a, how to call it, a filter, right, to information. Because obviously I'm going to answer your question, I have answered your question, and I have shown you how one thing is better than the other. But when you start thinking on things, then you will have that filter. And then whenever you come across information on the web or anywhere, or someone tells you something, you will be able to quickly figure out whether this is correct or not. Okay, because you have taken the pains and your brain has developed those notes. So try this. Always ask yourself, why am I not sharing it already? Because I've done that. I've done all this in the money, out of the money, everything, straddle, strangle, you name it, I have done it. All right, and I've lost money on it. It was never just paper trading, because I don't believe in that. So ask yourself that, like, why he's not sharing it in first place. And when you uh, start thinking on those lines, some answers will start coming to you naturally. You'll start developing your filter. And then why is it necessary? That also is important. Why just not ask Dean a question and get answer? The effort you put in developing the filter, it will, you know take some effort on your part in the beginning, but then later on in life it will save you so much of energy, you won't be able to believe. You won't be able to believe. It will free up so much mental energy, because the filter won't let stupid things come in. All right, so it happens with me. The moment someone starts speaking and is one or the other word out of place, and I understand that this guy does not know anything about anything, and there's no point listening to it. All right, so that superpower you'll develop. All right, so try it out. But to answer your question, no, uh, this option buying thing in the money, I don't think it makes much of a sense. All right, there are better ways to do things.